and the summer nights. What's happening, peeps? How you doing? How's everybody doing? Good to see ya. Welcome, everybody. If you got a phone or a communication device, it's a great way to keep in touch with family and friends far and wide. And we're going to invite you to turn off that technology, which is going to remind me to do the same, or silent or vibrate or whatever that needs to be so it doesn't ring. Turning off that technology and turning on the technology of our heart. Say it with me, Michael Davitt, you awesome cat, man. How's everything going for you? Did you have a good week?
Yeah, man, it's like riding a wave of gratitude.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just keeps rolling.
Did y'all just get a little chill? I just got a little chill when he said that. Riding a wave of gratitude. I like that. All right. You guys are welcome to stand and have a little motion. I'm going to get a little movement going on here. First thing, like we kind of normally do, and then we'll bring you right back down. How about that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sunrise paints the windows gold. Birds outside singing bold. Coffee brewing, laughter rings. The day's already swinging. I got a roof above my head. Comfy sheets upon my bed. Family close, love's a flame. Ain't need to play the game. 'Cause prosperity's a feeling. Got a mansion on the hill. It's the warmth in your heart. The rhythm and the thrill of waking up, breathing deep, knowing all you need to keep. Open eyes, a grateful soul. Yeah, that's the story to be told. Stepping out, the world's alive. Colors dance, the senses thrive. Friendly faces, helping hands on this blessed, abundant land. Simple pleasures, free and true. Sunshine sparkles on the dew. Maybe pockets aren't always alive. Happiness, so I can find. 'Cause prosperity's a feeling, not a mansion on the hill. It's the warmth in your heart. The rhythm and the thrill of waking up and breathing deep, knowing all you need to keep. Open eyes, a grateful soul. Yeah, that's the story to be told.
in this place, in this time. Be aware that everything in the universe had to align perfectly for each of us to be here. Breathe in the magnificence of that, the seamlessness of that, how the universe has done that in an effortless way. The mystery and the wonder of that. Breathe in all of these mystical forces of the universe that have already anointed this time and this space with their blessing. And feel the fullness of that. Feel the presence of their energy. Breathe this cosmic energy in through the top of your head, allowing it to run through your entire being, body, mind, and spirit. Then send it out through the tips of your toes into the heart of the earth, into the core of Mother Earth, and feel her receiving your energy and your love. Sense her beautiful groundedness and how she is so foundational to us. Sense the warmth of her nurturing spirit. Breathe in her generosity. Breathe it into your heart, resting in the knowingness that whatever is needed for each of us in this time will be provided. Whatever is needed to heal the world through the words that we are saying today, through the songs that will be sung, through the prayers that will be prayed, all will be provided. Sense the other hearts in this physical space with you. Sense the hearts that are here with us virtually. And sense the hearts that will listen to this recording later. All of us joined in this potent intention that we are cultivating here in this time, in this place. This very anointing of both heaven and earth. Take another deep breath in and out. And when you are ready, I invite you to open your eyes. Welcome, beloveds. It kind of sounds like there's a little reverb here. That's kind of cool. It's like the whole universe is speaking. It's present here with us in this moment, which is actually very true. So thank you so much for being here. You are a miracle. It is a miracle that this particular gathering is joined. And it always creates a wonderful potency and a wonderful expectancy for what is going to happen in this space. So I'd like to begin by welcoming all of our guests and our family that are online. So happy that you are joining us today. And we cannot see you with our eyes, but that is totally irrelevant because we feel you with our hearts, we feel your intention, we feel your presence, and we feel how foundational you are to what we will be creating here today. So thank you so much for being here. So next I would like to invite anyone who may be here for the very first time to stand, because we have several gifts that we would like to give you today, if this is you. Yay, yay, awesome. Keep standing, we have gifts to give you. So the first of the many gifts, Tom is handing you a welcome packet, and that lets you know a little bit about Unity and how we have been sharing love with the world for the past 150 years, and a little bit about our unique ministry here at Unity of Las Vegas. John wants my mic. Okay. Can I talk out of it? Okay, yeah, look at that. You are just seamless, Ira. You're amazing. And so next we have an energetic blessing for you. And so for that, I invite you just to open your hearts and minds and just to receive. And I invite our community to rub your hands together and to repeat after me. We see who you are. You are a magnificent divine creation. You are, in fact, a one-of-a-kind miracle. You are indispensable to the creation of the universe. We love you. We bless you. We celebrate the light that you are. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Yay. You may have a seat. Next, I would like to invite our in-house Sangha to stand and to greet each other in the spirit of Sayubona, which is this deep meaning in the West African culture that says, I see you, which brings in all of the ancestors, all of our descendants, and our deep purposefulness for being here. Because we are all friends here. Okay, I look forward to hearing about that. Okay, sounds good.
Hello, I hear something. And indeed, it is a beautiful morning.
There's a bright shiny haze on the meadow.
Well, what a treat it is to have Lisa Lee back in the house. It was indeed a treat to give the talk last Sunday, but there is no replacement for Lisa Lee.
There's no replacement for Don Fouts
just saying. So my name is Don Fouts. I'm part of your leadership team. It's my honor to be a part of your service, and we are going to begin by saying together our identity and purpose statement. So, we are family for each other, welcoming, nurturing, and awakening one another at death. And the best purpose statement ever, birthing the new human as the face of evolving love on the planet. And, okay, so we would like you to know that Unity is a prayer-based ministry, and we have prayer request forms in the back. If there is somebody that needed prayer after service, we have prayer chaplains that can do that. Just let us know. If you are online, you can go to 1-800-NOW-PRAY, and Silent Unity is available 24/7 for your prayer needs. And that is a phenomenal service for anybody at Unity that has used Silent Unity. You will know that it is quite an impressive experience. We have weekly events here, and the first one we want to announce is the Life Reflection Cafe, and I took this opportunity. Jamie, come up. Tell us a little bit about the mission of the Life Reflection Cafe.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you. This is such a treat because my husband's in Reno right now, so I received the gift of being here, so thank you. I want to say thank you, first of all, for all the support Unity brings for this Monday collective of a safe conversation. And we talk about everything from impermanence to Socrates, to Plato. The Course in Miracles has brought up quite a lot with the group. But it's a lovely collaboration of like-minded people. We even actually now vibrate with a chant and our body. And the most wonderful experience we experienced a couple weeks ago was just after Lisa's lead for this month, is we just sat in the silence. And it was so palatable that you couldn't even describe it in words. So I'm telling myself that's a peace beyond all understanding. So yes, join us. It's an hour and a half. It is free. There's fresh coffee, coffee cake. And if you arrive, and if it's not this week, it'll be some Monday. So thank you. And thank you again, you guys.
Thank you.
And thank you. We are family for each other. And the next part of our family that we want to bring to your attention is A Course in Miracles. This is So we are going through the lessons. It's a 365-day adventure. This week is lesson number 263, which means we're almost to Christmas. We're about 100 days to Christmas.
Wow.
I know, time flies. But this lesson is, my holy vision sees all things as pure. And it says, Father, your mind created all that is. Your spirit entered into it. Your love gave life to it. And would I look upon what you created as if it could be made sinful? I would not perceive such dark and fearful images. A madman's dream is hardly fit to be my choice, instead of all the loveliness with which you blessed creation, all its purity, its joy, and its eternal quiet home in you. So you can read the news, or you can attend A Course in Miracles. And this is on Wednesdays. You guys are at Starbucks this week?
No.
Nope, you're here live, yes. So I'll meet in this room, start arriving at 5:30. The meeting starts at 6. It's also available on Zoom. If you have not received the Zoom registration, that is available on our website. And then we have another Wednesday event. We call it a midweek inspiration, and it is Zoom only at 1 o'clock. If you don't have the registration, again, you'll need to register on our website, and it is a phenomenal time. We review and the special reading, our impression of the special reading and how it has impacted us, and it is a lovely time. So we are in the last week, the last Saturday of our Enneagram 101. If you have not attended, you're still welcome. We're going to talk about relationships and Enneagram and how we all have a purpose. We all contribute to the whole. And when we master the language of Enneagram, we really set ourselves up to be in cohesive relationships that have depth and compassion and empathy. So see you Saturday at 10 a.m. if that resonates with your schedule. All right, we are also contributors to Friends in the Desert. Oh, we're out of order here. I can do that one. Let's go with that. So CSL has Standing Strong. This is a 3-day event. One of those things you're going to really need to know. That is a Sunday, will be one service. And we're going to do a 10 o'clock joint service together. But the festivities actually begin Friday evening on October 28th. The ministry of CSL will be celebrating 23 years as a church here in Las Vegas and 10 years of ministry for Reverend Cheryl and Reverend Stacy. They are installing 3 new ministers or reverends, and that is Cynthia, Fran, and Sandy. So there's a dinner and dancing and a keynote speaker, Dr. David Alt, who will also be doing the Sunday service, and then workshops and speakers on Fridays, on Saturday, excuse me. There are flyers in the on the table. Be sure to grab one of those and join CSL. And some of us unitics that will be there.
Concert on Saturday.
And there's a concert on Saturday?
For $49 to do.
Okay, all of this is a big fundraiser for them, so there are different prices for whatever you're attending on that weekend. And, okay, so Friends in the Desert, we are supporting this, what do we call this? This is a charity.
Ministry.
Yes, and Friends of the Desert, they need things for men that live on the streets or in a poorer experience than many of us. So if you bring to us razors, roll-on, deodorants, and men's t-shirts and briefs, we will get them to Friends of the Desert and help with that charity effort. And I think we got it all. Is that it? Is there anything else?
I think that's it.
Wonderful.
That was nice, Don. Good job.
Thank you, Joan.
Thanks, buddy.
Sing away, would you?
Hey, pleasure.
Mixing things.
Yeah, man. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings. And with every breath you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is found in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. All the places you will go, and the people you will know. Don't worry where, or when, or how. You don't have to know right now. You're on the right track. No need to look Just enjoy what this day brings, for you will do amazing things. Amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, you will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out, just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Rio.
Thank you, John.
I gotta
Feel
take
that?
that. Hey, thanks.
Art space.
Janice
Wow.
Danfield and Megan McCann wrote
Yeah.
that song.
John Jones and Danny Rio.
Very cool. I talked him into doing the little intro thing right before when he
Yeah.
got here.
That
He
was
didn't even
beautiful.
know. He had no idea
That
what
was
we were going
nice.
to do, and he just pulled that up.
I'm not sure what I'm doing either, so we have that on film.
Neat.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We wish Pamela well, and so I'm her fill-in for the special reading. And this is excerpts from Consolations by David White. This is awesome poetry. So, however your meditation is during this poetry, I encourage you to just take this in. So the affirmation, within the inner sanctum of silence, I am found anew. And it begins, silence is frightening. Silence is not stillness, but tidal and seasonal movement left to itself, the graveyard of fixed identities. Real silence puts any present understanding to shame, orphans us from certainty, and confronts with the unknown and previously unacceptable conversation about to break in on our lives. Silence does not end skepticism, but makes it relevant. Belief or unbelief or any previously rehearsed story meets the wind in the trees. In silence, essence speaks to us of essence itself. Our own essential nature emerging as the defended periphery atomizes and falls apart. As the busy edge dissolves, we begin to join the conversation through the portal of robust vulnerability, revealing in the way we listen, an imagination, belonging to a different person than the one who first entered the quiet. Out of the quiet emerges the sheer incarnation presence of the world. To become deeply silent is to become tidal and seasonal, a coming and going that has its own essential character, a story not fully told like the background of the sea or the river going on, out of sight, out of our lives. Reality met on its own terms demand absolute presence and absolute giving away, an ability to live on equal terms with the fleeting and the eternal, the hardly touchable and the fully possible. A full bodily appearance and disappearance, a resting, giving in and giving up, another identity braver, more generous, and more here than the one looking hungrily for the easy, unearned answer. From David White. And the affirmation, within the inner sanctum of silence, I am found anew. And so it is.
And 2, 3.
So here we are in the silence. We have been in this series called Silence, the Mystery of Wholeness. And we're really finding that silence is a gift from within the heart of the cosmos. It's a way of being and knowing that is always with us, that is always available as an alternative to the cultural conversation that is going on. It's a remembrance through everything that we are whole, that we are complete, and that we are deeply loved. And I love that it's an invitation to realize that this is something that we can access in every nanosecond. And just religion in general, I don't know if you've noticed over the past few years, has become what we call more secular, that it's no longer about the monk going into the Himalayas and staying in the caves and meditating for 30 years. That is now really coming all the way through into our culture, into everyday life. And that is exactly how it should be. Because the fruit of doing these practices that we have been doing over time is that in every moment we can turn to these gifts. We can turn to wholeness. We can turn to completeness. We can turn to the fact that we are loved in a totally interpenetrating way, completely and thoroughly. And so we have been taking a look at what are these different aspects of the silence, since it is such a different conversation than you would normally be having in culture. So we visited first and found out more about the guardians of silence, which is kind of an interesting term to think about, because it's really Robert Sardello in his book, Silence, the Mystery of Wholeness, really talks about the resistances that we come up upon when we go into the silence are not designed to be against us, but are designed to be for us. You may have noticed when you sit down sometimes in meditation that there's a thought that says, well, we need to be brushing our teeth, or we need to be doing all these other kinds of things, or whatever those things are. that the mind tells us on those moments. Those actually are portals. They're not designed to be something that stops us. But it's a way of letting us know what it is that we need to let go of so that we can really enter into this sacred space. So David White says, silence is not stillness, but tidal and seasonal movement left to itself, the graveyard of fixed identities. Real silence puts any present understanding to shame. It orphans us from certainty and confronts with the unknown and previously unacceptable conversation about to break in our lives. Belief or unbelief or any previously rehearsed story meets the wind in the trees. And so these are invitations, these portals, these guardians of the silence, to really let go. It's a very deep, what we call a very deep kenosis, a really self-emptying to allow something much larger and much more expansive to be present. So next we took a look at what it is to really listen, the art of listening with your entire being, and that's part of being in the silence. So it actually helps to build that capacity for listening, which is so much more than what happens with the ears. We tend to really think of it as an auditory thing. But to listen really is to perceive, it's to really take in. How are we taking in the magnificence of the divine in every moment that is always available to us? And it gives us new and better capacities to be able to do that. So David White says, in silence, essence speaks to us of essence itself, our own essential nature emerging as the defended periphery atomizes and falls apart. As the busy edge dissolves, we begin to join the conversation through the portal of robust vulnerability, revealing in the way we listen an imagination belonging to a different person than the one who first entered the quiet. And so there's that way of that self-emptying and meeting ourselves newly, meeting ourselves that will feel like there's a brand new person that is here now, that we have been gifted to know. And so next, Don and his great genius created a beautiful talk last week and based on the silence as love. And that was absolutely totally perfect in every type of way. Because if we are understanding that this is what we are really surrendering into, then we can surrender into it fully. And I remember when I was working with Jeff Carrera, who was one of my favorite meditation teachers, he asked us in class once, what is your final articulation? And I said, well, what in the world is a final articulation? And he says, what is it that you believe no matter what? No matter what the appearances look like outside, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what the news is saying, what is your final articulation? And I thought about that. And I said, my final articulation is that the universe is founded on love, and that the universe is love. And you can't talk me out of it. And so a final articulation actually is your offering to the universe. The universe is offering love, and you are offering, this is what I am a stand for, which means that whatever comes up in my life, I am standing that the universe is founded in love. Even if in this moment it doesn't look like it or whatever else is going on, this is my gift back to the universe, is that I will stand in this. And so this is a very important component with the silence. So thank you, Don, for bringing that forward to us. It was a beautiful gift. So today, we will be taking a look at the inner sanctum, praying within the silence. So far we have been touching on little aspects of the silence. They're kind of like invitations. As you probably notice, the silence is very difficult to put words to, so we're kind of like, creating little arrows and little pointers. This is what this is. And so today what we're going to be doing is actually looking at a methodology for cultivating this awareness on an ongoing basis through prayer. And this is something that we want to really take a look at. We're going to be doing it in a formal way, but the ultimate intention is to become aware of silence in every moment. So prayer, in a way, is sort of looked at as training wheels, although I highly recommend it, even if you have been praying for 30 or 40 years, that this is something that you want to have as a regular practice, so that when you have situations that come up in life, regardless of what they are, you can immediately be in the silence with them. So I remember when I was in traditional religion, I grew up as a Presbyterian, and then I went on to a Baptist church. And then there was this saying that said, "Stay prayed up." I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. And that saying basically means just that. That if you remain through this regular practice of prayer, then when you have these challenges and things that occur, then you are not swayed by them. You can maintain and stay in your final articulation of love. So we're going to be praying within the silence, and that to me is very significant. And there's different ways, of course, to pray. You can actually pray from the ego, and you can pray from within the silence. And we're going to be taking a look at the difference of those. And of course, to do that, there's a really excellent model that you might be familiar with from our last series, and Michael Beckwith's model of the 4 ways of being. And it's a really beautiful way to take a look at prayer. And these are 4 different types of consciousnesses. One of them is to me, by me, through me, and as me. All of them have completely different perceptual lenses to look through on anything. And so we're going to take a look at each of these in terms of prayer. And the first one is to me, and that is basically victim consciousness. And it's basically living at the level of effect. So individuals that are living at this level feel that life is something that happens to them. They often perceive themselves as having little to no control over their circumstances, which leads to a feeling of hopelessness, blame, and disempowerment. Some of you may know some people like that. No one here, of course. And in prayer, there actually isn't even that sense that prayer is a possibility. There's just this sense of being a victim to everything that is happening, and the idea that any experience that you're having has something to do with something that is going on outside of you, or a person that is outside of you. So the next is by me, and this is creator consciousness. And here individuals recognize that they do have the power to affect and to shape their reality. This mode is about taking initiative, taking responsibility, demonstrating a proactive approach to life. I think about Enneagram 3s are really centered very well and beautifully in here. And the idea of is that I can change my outer world through effective prayer techniques. So that's the beginning stages of beginning to see that I have some level of power within me. The next one is through me. Now this level indicates a surrender into a flow state. So individuals in this state experience life flowing through them, often feeling guided or in alignment with a greater force or purpose. There's less of a sense of personal effort and more of an experience of really allowing or being a conduit for what is it that is wanting to emerge. So from this consciousness, through prayer, I align myself with divine flow, this or something better. And then the final one, which is as me, this is a state of oneness or pure presence. In this consciousness, there's a distinction between the individual and the entire universe, and it begins to really blur. Individuals that are operating from this deep sense of connecting with all things begin to have really very profound insights. So in regarding prayer at this level is, I am one with prayer. I am free. I am sourced from within. So there is a total shift in inner power and awareness from the very beginning, where the to me stage had no personal power. Everything was because of what somebody else did, or these circumstances, and the shift all the way to as me, where what is happening in the world cannot affect my awareness and my sense of wholeness and my peace. And so as we begin to look at this prayer, we're going to be utilizing Unity's 5-step prayer process. Some of you may be familiar with that already. And we're going to take a look at how this begins to move us along that continuum, from thinking that it's all about what's happening out there in the world, to all the way moving to the place of complete divine empowerment, and knowing that what is happening in the world is happening, but it is not affecting my peace, my joy, my understanding. And so we're going to take a breakdown of looking at each of these steps, and we're going to, of course, have an exercise. Each of you has your journal and your little prayer cards and your colored pencils and or pens. And so we're going to actually think about and bring to your mind something that you would like to pray for. And we'll have a little bit of time, if you don't think of it immediately, before we actually go into the prayer process itself. We're going to be speaking about it a little bit first. But we're going to do 2 things with that. When you find out what it is that you would like to pray for, you're going to write it in your journal, because you'll take that home and continue to work these 5 steps with that particular thing. So I recommend that you write them down in your journal, and also if you want to take a picture with your phone, because this is 21st century and this is what we do with phones now, you can go ahead and do that as well. The second thing is I would like you to get out your prayer cards that Kathy gave you or Tom gave you when you came in, and also write this prayer request on these cards, and then you will be handing these in when we do the offering. And this will become part of a collective prayer experience, because we do have a prayer call every Wednesday, and we do go over what the prayer requests are for that week, and then the prayer requests are prayed over for another 30 days in silent unity. This is a very powerful layering. So I'd like you to be in this particular circle with whatever it is that you are praying for, and that's going to really deepen what you are doing. All right, so we will go through each of these steps. The first one is relaxation. And so many of you may be familiar with that in the beginning of any type of meditation or anything, that you are invited to close your eyes and relax. And so that is something that is really important, and actually there are several things that are happening in addition to, of course, all of your physical aspects are beginning to relax, your mind and your heart. But what begins to happen is there is a softening of boundary between your mind, your heart, your body, and the rest of the world. And that's really an important pace. Emily Cady says that the source of all pain and discomfort in the world is the belief in separation. And so this is the beginning of really moving into the consciousness that it's completely impossible for us to be separate. It's really impossible for us to not be totally interconnected with all there is. So in that relaxation, you begin to really soften those boundaries, your physical body, between your mind, between your emotions, your thoughts, all of that begins to be in harmony, and then with the rest of the world. So that's the first step, is relaxation. And the next one is concentration. And I really love this one because there are 2 things that are happening here that are really important. And the first is the potency of attention. And whatever you bring your attention to, and the energy or the vibration that you have behind that attending, it's like you invite the forces of the entire universe to be with you in that. That is a very creative act. Whatever you are bringing your attention to, it's very creative. And so those that are familiar with the law of attraction, that's one of the first things that you are invited to do, is to be very mindful of what you are bringing your mind to, what you are really focusing your attention and your emotions on. So this is an invitation then to do that very intentionally with what you are holding, whatever that happens to be. And in so doing, you are automatically inviting all of the beings, all of the forces in the universe to be with you in prayer. So this attention and this focusing is a very important phase. So the next thing is being divinely met. And so this really also encourages what I call the second person relationship with the divine, which is sometimes overlooked in New Thought. But it is really that beloved relationship. And in this beloved relationship that you have with the divine, you are the center of the universe. And I know we're all the center of the universe, and it seems like an oxymoron, but not to God. So part of this is really embracing how profoundly you are loved and known by the universe, and really being with that. I remember we saw a movie on near-death experiences. I don't remember what the name of it was exactly now, but one of the things they said that was very common with those that have had near-death experiences is that sense that they were the only person in the universe for that time. And I think that it is the universe really bringing that real beloved experience to us, and to allow yourself to be totally met and totally loved in this space. So I have an excerpt from a special reading that I wrote called Divinely Met. It says, beyond any outer manifestation, what our souls seek above all else is to be truly met, to be loved in our depths, to be seen as we really are, to be held inside the embrace of that beloved knowing that finds us in places where we are unfindable to ourselves. Today I open my heart and allow divine love to permeate all parts of my being, mind, body, and spirit, and experience the fullness of being seen, known, and held in my most tender places. I hear and respond to my unique calling and have all that I need to express my true miracle nature in the world. Embraced by the divine, I am found and met in depth. So all of this is that concentration, that's bringing of your attention to something which invites the whole universe, and that understanding and doing this also, that you are moving into this divine relationship where you are being met in consciousness and totally loved. So the next stage is meditation. And so this is really a place of presence to presence. So when you already have done this relaxation and this concentration, then you are in a state of presence with the divine. And it's a presence meeting presence. And presence is one of the most precious things that we can really be with another person, or be with the divine, or be in general. To be present, to offer oneself, body, mind, and spirit in an absolute, total, open way is energetically very potent. It's very creative. And it makes something very powerful happen within the relationship, or whatever that is that you're really present to. And so I have an excerpt here from a special reading that is called Presence. So we are truly available to the divine only to the extent that we live fully in our bodies, where our minds and our souls run out through the tips of our fingers and toes to greet the world. Every part of our humanity and divinity, shouting to the cosmos amidst all manner of manifestations, I am here, I am here, I am here. There's nothing more powerful than our presence. It is our cosmic calling card. It is the imprint of our individuated expression of love. This is what we are bringing forward in meditation. Today I bring my full awareness to all the places where fear causes me to recoil, and I extend my fullness to others in the face of it. Grounded in full availability to the divine, I live on equal terms with the fleeting and the eternal, the hardly touchable and the fully possible. I know that presence is the true power behind all of my doing, and I discover a braver identity within me, more generous, more whole, and more here. And so that is what we are offering, the fullness of ourselves to the divine, a very precious gift. And then we are also met with that fullness. So there is like a double yes that is happening. So by that invitation of how we are being in full presence, we are drawing forth the meeting of the full presence of the divine. And so David White says, out of the quiet emerges the sheer incarnational presence of the world. And I really love that, how he's pointing to that. To become deeply silent is to become tidal and seasonal, a coming and going that has its own essential character, a story not fully told like the background of the sea or the rivers going on, out of sight, out of our lives. So there's that sense of this being met with this living essence, that we have the sense of this extension of this expandedness that is something that has existed before we were here, and it extends beyond. So there is that largeness of meaning and that sense again of that being truly met, that beloved. So that's the meditation. The next one is the realization. And this is here where the transformation begin to make that shift. You are shifting to the praying of as me, because the boundaries begin to blur between who you are and who the divine is, who you are and the words that you're saying, and who you are in the entire universe. All of this begins to be a new type of a wholeness. And so Robert Sardello says the words become like images, like the formation of crystals or a window in winter. The words lose the linearity of their spoken sentence and form whole new patterns within the silence, a pattern that is not seen but felt. The whole content of the prayer begins to recede, and each word becomes a world, as if we have entered a space where the word becomes spirit. The flatness of speaking transforms into dimensional space. The depth can extend to a point that the words seem to be no longer coming from me, as I know myself to be, but from a being within me that speaks. So we begin to really see how the words become less attached to what they say they mean in the dictionary, and they take on a life of their own, and they become something that is beyond what we could even imagine. And there's a sense too that the entire universe is praying your prayer with you, maybe not necessarily in words, but in the energy, that it is now like everything, the whole livingness of the universe that is there, and is creating another language together. And there's a sense of a new wholeness that is created in this process, one that includes but is not attached to the original request of the prayer. And inside of this wholeness, you find a peace and you find a joy that is really independent of any change in the outer. So this is what the gift truly is of prayer. Now, are we designed to be co-creators and bring heaven to earth here on the planet? Absolutely. But I want you to sense into the difference between trying to do that from a sense of lack or a sense of powerlessness, as opposed to doing it from that sense of full power where you are at total cause and not effect to what is happening. And so, of course, the last one is gratitude. And I'd like to think that really all of these steps really flow into one another, and especially you can sense that with gratitude when you're at that place of that freedom and of that wholeness. That's really a natural response that you are in gratitude. So it's not so much a 1-step, 2-step, 3-step, so forth and so forth. But I was really struck by, when I'm thinking about gratitude this week, of how gratitude and the perception of beauty are kind of like kissing cousins in this, and they're really intertwined. And I think what Don was reading today was very much in alignment with that whole piece too, this perception of beauty. Very often we think of beauty as of existing with something out there, where it's something obvious that we saw a picture of a flower or a puppy or something like that. We can say, oh, that's very beautiful. But the gift of prayer is to ultimately see beauty in all things, even when they are not pretty, so to speak. So in this case, we can find beauty even in the condition that we have prayed for in its current state. Because through prayer, we are then given new eyes, new ears, and new perceptive type of capabilities and capacities that changes how we see the world. And I think there's just something very, very divine about just literally seeing things as beautiful. So I have several decks of divination cards by Alana Fairchild, as many of you know, and I happen to be reading something where she speaks of beauty. You are meant to dream of beauty and to create beauty in its far most holistic and creative definition. There may be a situation in your life right now where you feel uncertain about your ability to fix or heal. However, the perfect beauty of this situation is not revealed by what you attempt to do to it or trying to impose the right dream upon it. It is to be healed and perfected into all that it can be through the revelation of the beauty that already exists within it. And so this is the gift of prayer through this type of gratitude, is to recognize the inherent beauty in everything, that there cannot be anything that occurs in your life experience that cannot be permeated with this perception of beauty. And in doing so, then you can energetically elevate it to however then it needs to be. So this is what it is to pray within the silence. It's very different from doing it in kind of a rote manner, which you may have, some of us were raised in a way of praying in a rote type of way. So this is a way of really praying within the largeness of the energy of the silence. It is very, very powerful, very, very transformative. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go into a prayer process. And so I invite you, if you have not already, to take your journals out and to write down something that you would like to pray for. And doing it in this type of way, as we were talking about concentration, something that is a real deep heart essence for you, because this is an invitation to really meet this divine, beloved love relationship, that you are loved at depth. And so that whatever your desires of your heart are the desires of the heart of the universe as well. And so knowing that and knowing what you are bringing your attention to is indeed inviting these forces of the universe. So bring all of that into what you are writing down in your journal that you would like to pray for. And then I ask you to write it again on your prayer cards, because you're going to give that to us, and then we will continue to pray for that with you over the next week. And so already as you begin to write, or completing your writing, wherever you are in that process, I invite you to begin to breathe. And allow yourself to experience the living force of this breath. There is nothing in the universe that is benign. There is nothing in the universe that is not alive. So experience this living force of the breath, experiencing as an exchange, a natural exchange with the universe. Sensing on each in-breath, we are bringing in the forces of the universe. With each out-breath, we are sharing our individual spirit and nature with the universe. So bring your attention to the beauty and the love in that exchange. Allow the very nature of that love exchange to be present in your own body. Allowing your physical body to totally relax. Allowing the chair to slowly support you. allowing your mind to totally relax. Noticing how your thoughts are becoming soft. Allow your feeling nature to become relaxed. All inside of this exchange of the breath. Be aware now in this exchange how all parts of you are in harmony, are in exchange in them of themselves, body with mind, with spirit, with emotions. Breathe inside the freedom of that exchange, the harmony and the love of that exchange. And begin to feel that the boundaries between you and others that are sitting near you are beginning to soften. Yourself kind of like a cell membrane, where you remain an individual, but there is this freedom of exchange through the membrane. And then sense that connectedness with everyone that is here with you, extending that out to those that are not here with you. Allowing this exchange that we are with everything in the universe to become complete, to become known. So now move to the next step of concentration, where I invite you to bring your attention to what you have written down as your prayer request. Know in this attention that you are inviting the entire universe, all the creative forces of the universe are invited into this attention on your request. You feel the potency of that, the support of that. Also know in this intention how you very much are the center of the heart of the universe. And breathe into this beloved, beloved relationship. Even the hairs on your head are numbered. Breathe into how deeply you are known, how deeply you are loved. And now this request that you have written and that you are attending to, because of this love, is also a request of the entire universe. I invite you now into the next stage, which is meditation. And to allow this sense of this openness, this breathing, this connectivity with everything to become complete. And that you are totally present in this space with the divine. Openness of heart, openness of mind, openness of body. Saying in your heart of hearts, I am here, fully incarnated availability. I am here. I am here for the divine. And in this beautiful presence, allow yourself to be met in the presence, by the presence of the divine itself. Feel the expansiveness of that. The intimacy of that. Allowing the divine to be present in every part of your being, body, mind, and spirit. There is no place in you where the divine does not exist. Breathe in the exquisite magnificence of that. The sheer incarnational presence of the universe with you and in you. Presence to presence. And now I invite you into the next step of realization. As you continue to attend to your words, allow the words for your request to begin to take wings. Giving them into this space, giving them into the divine. Allowing them to be their creative selves. Allowing yourself to be transformed at depth by this wholeness, by this oneness in this meeting with the divine. Sensing yourself softening, sensing your request softening, and bringing your awareness to a new wholeness that deeply includes yourself, that includes the divine, that includes your request. Feeling every part of this request, every word, permeated with love. Everything seen, everything known, everything loved. And with this, we naturally flow into gratitude. Breath and behold your world newly through eyes of wholeness, through ears of wholeness, touching, tasting, smelling your entire world through new eyes of love. Seeing beauty in your request, seeing beauty in the situation exactly as it is. Not missing any love, not missing any manifestation of the divine in it. And knowing that within the inner sanctum of silence, I am found anew. I invite you to take one more deep breath in this silence. Knowing that though we are doing it formally, this is a gift from the universe and available for you in every nanosecond. So breathe inside of the gift of that, the love of that, the wisdom of that, the peace of that. Knowing in your heart of hearts that this is the way, it really is.
There is a calling that speaks through this space, and this calling speaks through others. Let us listen deeply and with inner silence, so that we can hear its message, recognize our own voice in each other's words. are called to contribute our voice. Let us give it our innocence. Speak without the burden of opinion and knowing. Respond to what's emerging and that which touches, moves us and inspires. Of destiny, give weight to our listening and speaking, and the lightness of our being shine forth as freedom, spontaneity. Let this phase be a source of healing, discovery and becoming. Let wisdom guide our journey as single entities, souls that have no equal. As well as in communion, boundaries are replaced with infinity. Let us be who we are and nothing more. And surrender to our souls calling to become. Let us be who we are and nothing more. And surrender to our souls calling to become. And nothing more. Gratitude for the opportunities we give each other to remember who we are. As nobody unborn and undying. As one soul on his journey, as a collective soul being journeyed through, calling ourselves from a future that has yet to become. What we know in our hearts is possible. And let us now feel into ourselves in this place, in this time. See one another, sense into the space between. Offer our bodies, minds and hearts. Surrender to the flow of creation. And anyway, who we are and nothing more. And surrender to our souls calling to become. Be who we are and nothing more.
Jones. Your name was on, this is a beautiful picture of you by the piano. Is this your own song? You and Chris write this together?
Only kind of partially. Lisa actually knows a better version of this than I do. We took this from somebody she knows, I believe.
Yes.
What's the story? I want to know the story. Is there a story here?
Well, this is kind of a story. There's a friend of mine named Chris who wrote a really beautiful poem. And I said, wouldn't it be great if we could use that at Unity Las Vegas? And so this is during the pandemic. This is how far back
so
this
it's
whole
been
this
a little
goes.
bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this song, Abel created a video out of it with him reading it, actually. And then John wrote the music to it, but we actually didn't. I think this is the first time
We never used it.
We have never used that before. It has just
I
surfaced again now.
I recorded it. We've got a whole thing of it, but we ended up never using it. And then when you were talking about, this is going to be on the inner sanctum of praying within the silence and all that stuff, it popped up in one of my folders. It was just like, here, let's use this one.
Excited.
It was,
Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely a God thing. So it was kind of cool that it worked out that way. So,
It was.
But I didn't remember. I'm like, where did this come from? I have no idea.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
This is our time for your gifts, your offerings, your contributions that pay these bills. Even mystics have bills to pay. So we have an affirmation we'll share together. If you hold your gift in your hand, we'll say this: divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And you can bring your gifts forward. Thank you.
Oh yeah, John.
Oh yes, and your
prayer requests
prayer requests
and pencils and pens.
and your stuff.
Yes, keep the journals though.
And so let's bless this offering. What an invitation today to be prayed up. Be prayed up. To maintain an awareness of your connection to your divinity. You are never separate. Only the awareness may be gone. So we invite Holy Spirit to bless every person here, every person listening, and every person that we touch to be blessed in abundance, in wholeness, and in joy. Thank you, God.
Thank you.
Amen.
Amen. All right, it is now time for our affirmations. So I invite everybody to stand. A little bit of different energy from our meditative, but very powerful nonetheless. And repeat after me. I am.
I am.
We are.
We are.
I am.
I am.
We are.
We are.
I am a radiant expression
I am a radiant expression
of the divine,
of the divine,
infinitely loved,
infinitely loved,
and eternally supported.
and eternally supported.
I claim my divine inheritance
I claim my divine inheritance
of abundance,
of abundance,
peace,
peace,
and joy
and joy
in every now moment.
in every now moment.
Every cell in my body
Every cell in my body
vibrates with the energy of creation,
vibrates with the energy of creation,
connecting me to an infinite universe.
Connecting me to an infinite universe.
I am a living miracle.
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 I am.
I am.
We are.
We are.
I am.
I am.
We are.
We are.
And so it is.
So it is.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and now it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. God is forever, and we all are we. Now we want each other, and harmony. Jesus begins with me. Let this be the moment now. Every step I take, let this be my glorious smile. Today is moment and each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and now it begins with me.
And our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a fabulous week, beloveds.